Welcome back to another episode of the A Sports Podcast. My name's Art, here with my brother Alex.
What's going on, guys? What's going on?
Long time no see, everybody. Post Pacquiao Ugas podcast. Real quick, we decided to just jump on here and give our 2 cents really quick.
Nice run of the mill and everything, but how's the move going?
The move's going.
Everything good?
Pretty soon you guys will find out. But yeah, I'm moving.
All right, so
Eventually.
as you can see, my brother here is a little nervous. He hasn't been recording in a little while. So, as I mentioned in the last podcast, my brother's having a big move, right?
Yeah.
So, now that I got him on the podcast, he actually just came back yesterday. So luckily, I was able to get him on here for a post Pacquiao Ugas upset.
Upset special. We just watched
Ridiculous.
Pacquiao Ugas about an hour or two ago. Alex, thoughts on the fight? I mean, thoughts on Pacquiao versus Ugas?
Father Time has caught up to him. He needs to hang him up while he's ahead because it could end very bad for him.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he's just finally met his matches at 147. You know, I think the 147 pound division maybe like 5 or 6, 7 years ago was a little light at the top. Now you got some big, heavy hitting 147 pounders that Pacquiao cannot take advantage of. I was surprised he was able to handle Keith Thurman for the majority of that fight. But Thurman towards the end of the fight was starting to, come on, but it was already a little bit too late. Ugas in this fight just seemed like he did not care about what Pacquiao threw. I mean, he was just too big and too strong. Any punch he landed on Pacquiao really seemed to bother Pacquiao. And that's the first time we've seen that in a while.
Yeah, I had a big problem with Manny Pacquiao. He looked really old. Unfortunately, I didn't. How can I say this? I'm a little upset. All right, because I lost my parlay because of Manny Pacquiao. I thought my parlay was secured with me picking Manny Pacquiao. I thought he was going to beat Ugas. I didn't think Ugas had anything for him. And I look like a complete idiot now. I mean, Ugas fought a really good fight. He used his jab. Manny Pacquiao couldn't get away from that right hand.
No, he couldn't.
I mean, he kept doing this whole trying to block it. No head movement. He was saying that his legs were tired. And, I mean, he looked like Father Time caught up to him, unfortunately. And I'm not saying, he doesn't still have it, but he didn't look like the same Pacquiao from the Keith Thurman fight. Then there was the long layoff even after that fight. Mm-hmm. How long was the
2
layoff?
Years.
2 years since he fought Keith Thurman? No.
Yeah.
2 years since he fought Keith Thurman? Jesus.
2 years and a month, I think. Something like that.
Oh, my God. And he even had a layoff when he fought Keith Thurman, I think.
Exactly.
Was that...
That one was only like a year.
Was that pre-COVID? It was pre-COVID, right?
Yeah. He fought Broner, and then like a year later or something like that, he fought...
See, only a handful of guys can come back from a layoff and still fight the top guys, right?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, but Ugas, when was the last time Ugas fought? Sean Porter?
Yeah.
That was pre-COVID.
It was pre-COVID. So, I mean, Dennis Ugas looked good. I mean, I think
he did.
He looked a lot bigger than Pacquiao, and he ran into those Cubans. Those Cubans apparently have really good boxing abilities.
Yeah, that style of Ugas just did not play well with Pacquiao. And I mean, we've seen that when he fought Juan Manuel Marquez, just the counter punches. He does not like that. That's something that Pacquiao kind of, throws himself at. But if you're able to counter him, Pacquiao has to be a little more careful. We saw in this fight that he kind of held back a little bit. Pacquiao was post-fight. Let's talk about after the fight now. Pacquiao didn't seem really decisive as to whether he's going to fight again or not. He doesn't know. He most likely will be running for president of the Philippines in May of 2022, which means there's about 9 months from here to May for that, for the presidential race. Let's say he starts his presidential campaign in January or so. That means he has a fight. He can fight in December of this year if he wants to. Do you think we've seen the last of Manny Pacquiao?
If he's gonna run for president, I don't think he should fight.
Okay.
I just think that look at the president of the United States. look at what happened to Barack Obama, man. They all start coming out with gray hair. People are after you, and people want your head. You know what I mean? I'd stay away from being president if you're gonna fight. If you're gonna run for president, hey, Manny Pacquiao is an icon, right?
Yeah.
The Philippines worship this guy.
Yeah.
Boxing world worships this guy.
Yeah.
If you're gonna run for president, then stay running for president, but stay out of the ring because I think it's too much on your plate.
Okay.
Me personally, I think one more fight to see if he still has what it takes to get in there with a guy like Crawford, Spence, these, at maybe another shot at 147 for a title. One more fight. And if you don't look good in that fight, hang it up because I don't want you getting hurt.
Remember Mayweather had that little farewell fight against Andre Berto, where Berto didn't really show anything to be considered in the ring against Pacquiao. Against Mayweather. I think Pacquiao's going to have one of those type of fights. I think Pacquiao's going to fight somebody who, he thinks he can get a victory over and, right off into the sunset. A little farewell fight for all the fans. There was a lot of fans disappointed that this wasn't going to be Errol Spence.
Yeah, I was disappointed as hell, man. I wanted Manny Pacquiao to pull out.
Yeah, dude, that's what me personally, if I was in Manny Pacquiao's team, I'd be like, hey, dude, you have no reason to fight this guy. You have no reason to fight Ugas.
It's a 2-week notice, but even then, I just feel like why take it? Why take the risk?
And
for what?
A loss to Spence sounds better than a loss to Ugas.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
definitely. Ugas is what, 15-3 or 16-3 now?
Something like that, yeah.
Jesus, you lost to a 16-3 guy. You know what I mean? It's just... Yeah. But then there's never going to be another Manny Pacquiao. I know it sounds like I'm bashing him, but I'm just upset because I lost my parlay. I really felt like my parlay was locked in with Manny Pacquiao. I mean, I was en route to winning. Everything has played in my favor.
Except for Pacquiao.
I'll be honest, I wanted them to job your Dennis Ugas. People are going to look at me like, you're a freaking asshole. Like, look at what your Dennis Ugas has had to do to get to this point, you know what I mean? But let's be honest, I don't make the type of money Dennis Ugas is going to make for this fight, so I don't care they job his ass. They should have jobbed him.
Yeah.
The one time I need somebody to get jobbed, they don't do it. It's freaking bullcrap, man.
Oh, man, that's hilarious. Okay, for Ugas, I know he talked about Errol Spence and unifying.
No, you know what? I want one more shot. You know why? I really thought they were going to job him, right? You know why? But then again, I looked back at things and I was like, well, they have robbed Manny Pacquiao in the past. Jeff Horn, Tim Bradley the first time. So they don't have a problem screwing Manny Pacquiao, right?
Yeah.
But I would have thought, look at how they were talking on Manny Pacquiao. The legend, there will never be another Manny Pacquiao, which is correct. Look at, even at the age of 42, he's still fighting.
Yeah.
Keith Thurman.
Yep.
Earl Spence. He's going after Earl Spence. You're Dennis Ugas.
Yeah.
Who does that? Nobody does it.
Yeah, I agree.
And the one time I need somebody to get jobbed in boxing for whatever reason doesn't happen. We all know boxing corrupt as hell.
Yeah.
They could have jobbed him.
Dude.
It could have been.
Yeah.
But Manny Pacquiao doesn't have... It seems like it's easier to rob Manny Pacquiao than it is to rob another fighter, right?
It's been easy for people to rob Ugas too.
That's what I'm saying. What was one more going to hurt him? Right?
The thing is, Pacquiao doesn't lose much losing,
Yeah.
Like Tim Bradley needed that win against Pacquiao. Let's be real. He did. Because if not, then Bradley's career would have just been blue. They needed opponents for Pacquiao.
Right.
So
especially with the whole top rank situation.
Jeff Horn. They needed an opponent for Terrence Crawford. That's the only reason why Jeff Horn won.
Jeff Horn was like a high school teacher, wasn't he?
I think so. Something like that. But they needed an opponent for Crawford. They knew Pacquiao wasn't going to fight Crawford. So they said, well, we need somebody to fight Crawford. Let's get this guy who fucking accidentally beat Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Manny Pacquiao to fight him. So for Ugas, what's next? Because he said he wants to unify. Let's go over the other champions in the division. We got the WBO champion Terrence Crawford, who's on the other side of the street. We have WBC and IBF champion Earl Spence, who is on the shelf for now with that eye surgery.
Hey, bullcrap aside here, have you heard what Bernard Hopkins been saying?
About there was nothing there.
Yeah, he's saying that Earl Spence is faking it. He
Look.
wants proof of the Earl Spence injury. What do you think about those comments? Pretty bold statement by Bernard Hopkins, isn't it?
Look, I respect Bernard Hopkins and I respect all these fighters, but when you make a statement like that, you better be right. You better be 100% right.
Yeah.
Because a torn retina is nothing to play with.
Definitely not.
Earl Spence could have lost his vision.
His career could have been done, right?
Yeah.
Look at Abner Mares when he was gonna fight Gervonta Davis.
Exactly.
He had like a torn retina, right?
And then he had to have surgery.
He has yet to fight, right?
He never fought after that.
Never fought after that. He was contemplating a comeback, right? But then it just hasn't happened yet.
Dude, a torn retina is no joke. Apparently Spence's wasn't as serious. They caught it, it's partially torn or whatever. But
partially
it's
torn.
it's still a serious injury.
Yeah.
So you're asking a guy to go in to fight the biggest fight of his life against Manny Pacquiao and do it with pretty much an eye and a half, maybe an eye and a quarter of an eye. I mean, that's a little irresponsible by Bernard Hopkins. I'm going to say that. Irresponsible.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an irresponsible statement.
What else would you like to see for your Denis Ugas besides Spence?
The WBA, if you guys don't know, the WBA had that whole Michael Fox corruption scandal that happened when he got completely robbed of a fight against I forgot his name, some guy from Colombia or Venezuela or something like that. So Michael Fox clearly won the fight in everybody's eyes. They give the decision to the other guy, whatever his name was. The WBA completely just makes it a no contest, a no decision because they couldn't give Michael Fox the win, so they took the belt from the other guy. But anyways, after all this came out, there's been a bunch of stuff going on with the WBA. So the WBA has just started matching up the WBA regular champions, the WBA super champions, the WBA interim champions, whatever WBA belt you have. If you have one of those belts, you're fighting the other champion. So if you're a WBA super and you have the regular belt, that's why they mandated Franco to fight the winner of Chocolatito against Gallo, because Chocolatito and Gallo are fighting for the super WBA super title, and Franco has the regular title. So that's why they're trying to pretty much condense all the belts down into one WBA champion, which is the right thing to do. At 147, there's a guy named Jamal James, who's the WBA regular champion, while Ugas is the WBA super champion, with Spence on the shelf, Crawford being with Top Rank and really not having much to do. I think we're going to see Ugas against Jamal James, which is very disappointing.
I don't even know who Jamal James is. Who is Jamal James?
But who is
he must be the regular, right?
Yeah, he's the regular.
The regular is usually the guy that nobody knows.
Exactly. But I mean, let's be real. He's not going to fight a guy like Virgil Ortiz. Oh. He's not going to fight a guy like Jaron Ennis.
Or Conor Benn.
Like, Conor Benn's not ready for Ugas.
Look at this 147-pound division.
Dude, it's stacked.
Earl Spence, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, although Earl Spence or Danny Garcia may move up soon.
Oh, wait, don't forget. Yesterday was the deadline for yesterday. And when we say yesterday, that means Friday. Friday was the deadline for the agreement between Crawford and Porter. There was no agreement, so there will be a purse bid scheduled for Thursday. purse bid for Crawford versus Porter for the WBO title.
Really?
Yes. So Crawford already has a matchup, I guess.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. So it won't be Crawford or Porter. So there's two more names that go out for Ugas. So who's Ugas gonna fight? I would like to see him fight Keith Thurman.
That would be a good fight.
Yeah.
You know, Keith Thurman's been out of the ring for a while.
Since Pacquiao.
Yeah. How are you looking at Keith Thurman right now? Keith Thurman,
dude, I don't like him. On commentary, I think he's terrible. I think him and Porter were bad, dude.
I think, yeah, they were bad, but I think Keith Thurman's okay on the mic. I mean,
he's okay.
I'm not the best either, but I'm just saying it's, you know, he's making more money than I am. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, of course. We're here doing this shit for free, just because we like to.
I don't do anything for free.
Yeah, that's true. So you expected me to pay you because I'm not.
Yep, exactly what I'm expecting.
Yeah, I mean, like Thurman's a good fighter, but he's been out for 2 years plus now, same as Pacquiao, and he has like no plans of returning soon. So I don't know. Ugas, I don't know. He's kind of in a weird place. Yes, 147 is stacked, but Ugas is kind of trapped right now into, okay, well, who do I fight? Do I fight this Jamal James who really is not going to give me a good payday? I mean, I just beat Manny Pacquiao. I should be fighting one of these big guys to make more money, but there's nobody there to fight.
Right. So does that about wrap it up for this whole little 147 pound
conversation for
of Ugas and the regular belt and super belt?
Yeah, you want to talk about any of the undercards?
Let's talk about Robert Guerrero versus Victor Ortiz.
That was a real main event.
What did people think about that one?
Yeah, let us know what you guys think because...
Hey, I thought the first couple of rounds were exciting.
They did, dude.
I thought they were exciting the first couple of rounds. Probably
four max.
Through the 4 rounds. After that, it seemed like two guys that should have retired a long time ago, still retiring, and Victor Ortiz still leads with his head. I don't know what the ref sees, and he literally does it every round, and the ref never calls a headbutt, never takes points, never does anything. If anything, he leans in with his head, and he's warning Robert Guerrero. It's like, why are you warning Robert Guerrero? He ain't doing nothing wrong, and you know what I mean? But I mean, Robert Guerrero did get stunned in that, and I believe it was the first or the second round where he was getting clipped with some solid shots. I was like, oh man, this is bad. But luckily he was able to fight on the inside, and it seemed like Victor Ortiz gassed after that 6th round. Just seemed like he was just holding or just trying to he was just smothering but not doing any work on the inside. And it seemed like Robert Guerrero was able to just get the upper hand.
Outwork him.
I thought they were going to job Robert Guerrero because if you look at the buildup, it seemed like they were, talking up Victor Ortiz like he's going to be this, the second coming of Jesus or something, right? Like he was going to make his, unawaited return.
Yeah.
What unawaited return? He's 34 years old. It's, you know what I mean? And it's not that I'm knocking it because you know what? To get in the fucking ring, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard, especially if you've been in a layoff. People think it's easy to get punched in the face. It ain't easy.
No.
I don't care how old you are.
Yeah.
But when you had a layoff and I feel like your best days are behind you, you're fighting. Like what are they fighting for exactly? Like, are they going to be able to make it to the top of the 147 pound division, or are they just racking up some?
I think they're just
some retirement money. Yeah,
that was a payday. I mean, Guerrero, let's say he gets another. You know who I'd like to see Robert Guerrero fight? Josecito Lopez.
Hey, that would be a good one. I
think Josecito Lopez beats his ass.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't wait to see that one. Hopefully that one gets made.
I actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, no.
Why?
Robert Guerrero's like, dude, Robert Guerrero needs to retire.
See, but he just beat Victor Ortiz. So, man, okay, he came off a layoff.
So he beat the second coming of Jesus.
He beat the second coming of Jesus, right? Well, didn't you guys see how it was coming, how they were building it up on PBC? Yeah. It was kind of ridiculous, but they kind of had me fooled.
Dude, I thought it was 2005 or 2006 again.
I was like, I was like, who did Victor Ortiz beat that these people think that he's like the fucking next 147-pound champion? Like, he can't even make weight, you know? And
That's
then
true.
I thought he looked bigger than Robert Guerrero. I thought for the first 3 rounds, Victor was beating him, right? It
I
seemed
thought
like
he did
was
okay for the first.
I thought he
couple
was
rounds.
hurting him and everything like that, but then he just kind of gassed out, and I was like, what happened? You know, it is what it is. I don't know what's going on, but what else you want to talk about? You want to talk about that? What about that guy that got knocked out?
Mark Magsayo.
El
Mark
Magnifico?
Yeah, Magnifico. Dude, he was getting his ass whooped. I'm gonna be honest. He knocked down Julio Ceja in that first round. Nice little check hook. And then Ceja started coming back at the end of the first round. And then second round, third round, fourth round, dude, he was putting a beat. I mean, the fight was kind of even. And then like in the fifth round, I believe it was the fifth round, he starts landing some vicious body shots, dude. And Magsayo just kind of starts leaning over and leaning forward and really bad body language. You know how when a guy's like ready to go, like they start doing this crap, like, oh shit. Yeah, that's what he looked like. That's what he was doing. And then he gets caught with a 2-3, gets hit with a nice left hook and goes down. He's getting hurt in the next round, 6th, 7th round. And I believe the knockout was in the 8th, if I'm not mistaken. He could, like, Magsayo hits him with like a combination, drives him back to the ropes, and he fucking lands a big right hand, and Ceja's out cold. I'm like, what happened? Like, you know, ¿qué le dijeron a la esquina? Like, you're hitting him too hard. You're hitting him too hard. Don't hit him so hard anymore. Like, what happened?
That guy was out cold. What really pisses me off was that he was out, right, for like a good 2 hours.
Okay, I shouldn't be laughing, but yeah, I know what you're gonna
say. This is what upsets me.
Go.
Because I see him still walking out of the ring with help from other people.
They were carrying him.
Like, basically carrying him, right?
Yeah.
Get the stretcher for the guy, for freak's sakes. Like, you're a multi-million-dollar company, right? And you can't afford a damn stretcher to get to the damn ring for somebody who just got knocked out?
Yep. I agree.
Like, do they not learn from when people walk out like that? What can possibly happen? And it's not nobody's trying to be funny here, or nobody. This is a serious conversation, because we watched fighters die in the ring before. We know what they look like.
Yeah.
They start throwing up in the ring. They're not able to, they just don't have like complete control of their body, right? It just seems like something's off. If anybody has to get carried out of the ring and it's not under their own power, they have to help them out, and they're basically like carrying the guy. That's not good.
Nope.
That could be really bad.
Yep.
Especially if he's throwing up, things like that. I mean, that could be possible brain damage, and they could die from that. So hopefully, is there any update on the guy? Is he all right?
He was sent to the hospital, conscious.
Thank God.
That's a good sign. But I did not read any updates. Maybe we'll have an update later on in the week for you guys. The first fight, Carlos Castro.
I saw
got himself a nice stoppage. Wait, did he win by stoppage? Yeah, in the 10th round. I think it was in the 10th round by stoppage.
He came back from a little bit of adversity.
A little bit of adversity,
dropped, right?
Yeah. He got hurt. I think it was a real growing, like a maturity type of fight, you know, to evolve into that next tier. Now, I'm not saying he's like a championship fighter or anything, but you know, these type of fights where you have to battle through, you know, some adversity and still get a victory. Those are the type of fights that are good for a young fighter.
Right. So what's up with his back? What's up with his back?
Oh, the cupping?
Why is all these people getting cupping now? Like, you know, they look like a bunch of Connect 4 boards. You know what I mean? Like, what is this? Do they really work? Is it? I've seen Teofimo Lopez. He's also been getting some cupping.
There's people that believe in that cupping stuff. Some people get a massage.
Does it work?
I don't know. Like some people say a massage weakens you.
So I've heard the same as well, but
so I mean, I guess it's to each their own beliefs,
right?
You know. But if cupping is working for Carlos Castro, hey, he ended up winning and he fought through adversity, so we can't really knock the guy, you know.
Right.
Let's see. Anything else you want to talk about? UFC, Cannonier beat Gastelum via decision.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to watch that one,
No,
but
that was the result.
I feel like Gaslam always makes it to the top, but then he kind of just falls. You know, he falls a bit short,
just short
in every fight, in every big fight.
The big fight.
He just cannot get over that hill.
Yeah.
So not sure.
Well, I don't know when is the next time I'm gonna be on here.
Yeah, hopefully it's
hopefully
soon. I was telling them that we're trying to have
a chance to listen to the podcast.
Right. Well, I was telling them, that's what I was about to say. I was telling them that I want to do a fantasy football segment, do a couple of episodes, have our cousin Coach Tovar on here and try to get that going. We might have just figured out the whole Skype situation.
Okay.
Figured out all that so that we can get that fantasy football going. I want to have it out by next week.
Oh, shit.
At least next week. Have at least one episode out.
Okay. On fantasy football?
Yeah, fantasy football. And then we'll just keep going from there, see what we can do.
Got it. All right. Well, for now, thank you guys for watching this episode of the A Sports Podcast. We'll talk to you guys next time.
Peace out, guys.